Thanks, Sarah. Good evening. Ricky the Hitman Hatton is backing Carl Frampton to win a world title. Four-time world champion Hatton says Frampton reminds him of himself. This report contains flash photography. As Frampton punches his way up the world rankings, his fan base continues to grow. Today saw his biggest weigh-in crowd yet at the Europa Hotel as he and opponent Jeremy Parodi eyeballed each other before their world title eliminator.
The atmosphere I get at the weigh-ins are better than what some people get at their fights, but that was crazy in there. So I think it spooked Parodi a wee bit, and there's more of that to come tomorrow night. Trust me.
I remember when the weigh-ins used to be just a few there now, but I mean it brought a lot of memories back to mind there, But Belfast fight fans have got a lot to be proud of in Carl Frampton. He's improving all the time. He needs to keep winning. He's proven right with his win over Kiko Martinez. He is world class. The world title just awaits. Just down limitations, do a nice professional job. Impress people, keep the fan base growing, and I think the world title is just around the corner. A dangerous opponent, but I think this is as good a fight as he's probably going to get because he's absolute world class now, Carl.
Just as Barry McGuigan has taken Frampton under his wing, Hatton mentors Belfast's Ryan Burnett in Manchester. He'll be on the undercard in front of the 8,500 home fans in the Odyssey tomorrow night.
He's a real talented lad. He won practically everything as an amateur, and I think I have every confidence that this lad can be where his hero Carl is.
And with just over 24 hours to go, Frampton is the most confident he's ever been.
I'm going to predict the win, that's all. He's never been stopped before. I'd like to stop him. Kiko Martinez was never stopped and I knocked him out. So this guy, it could be a long night. He looks like he's got a solid chin, but I've got the power to take any super bantamweight in the world out. My next fight is going to be for a world title once I get rid of this guy.
Should be a great night tomorrow.
The Belfast boxer Carl Frampton headlines a sold-out bill at the Odyssey Arena tomorrow. But he's not the only big attraction. Stephen Watson is with the multiple world champion Ricky Hatton.
Thank you, Donna. Delighted to welcome the Hitman to Belfast. He's here because he's the promoter, trainer to one of our exciting young prospects, Ryan Burnett, who's on the undercard tomorrow night. Ricky, great to have you live in the BBC Newsline studio. You never fought in Belfast, but you do know about all the heritage here that we have for boxing. Are you feeling the buzz today? Absolutely, to be honest. I'm a little bit, I did so many things in my boxing career, not to box in Ireland, because I know the boxing heritage and the sporting heritage. They're so passionate, the fans, as we're going to see tomorrow night, that I never got the chance to. But I know... how the fans, really get behind the fighters like they did with Eamon McGee when I boxed him in Manchester, many moons ago. They had a whole big section in the MEN Arena there, so it's going to be great, and I think they're going to love my prospect, Ryan Burnett. Yeah, as we saw at the weigh-in today, great atmosphere. You know what it's like to have not just a whole city like Manchester behind you, but a whole country behind you. How difficult is it for this young fella from Belfast, Carl Frampton, to manage those expectations? Well, he's very mature beyond his years, to be honest with you. He's mixed at a very, very high level. And I think he's to be a world champion, which we think he's going to be, you've got to have the whole picture. You've got to have the temperament. You've got to have the attitude. You've got to know how to use the crowd to your advantage, not let it beat you. And he'd come from a good stable with Barry McGuigan and Shane McGuigan, who's fast becoming one of the best coaches around. He's got good people around him that will keep him on the right track. You're looking after young Ryan Burnett. He was one of our glittering young amateurs, won a gold medal at the Youth Olympics, but then failed a brain scan. Thankfully, he's been cleared from that now, but a difficult time for him. It was a very difficult time, but it's been real character building, for him, to be honest. It would be dead easy with a man, as young as Ryan to chuck the towel in. I've had enough, and go off the tracks, but he didn't. In that 12-month when he never got his licence, he was in the gym every day. So by the time his debut came, he was like a little mini season pro, to be honest with you. And he's a nice kid. He's a joy to train, very easy to train, because he's got so much talent. It's frightening, and I don't want to put too much pressure on his shoulders. But Carl Frampton is his hero, and I can see this kid being exactly where Carl is, to be honest. He's the next, one to follow for Belfast boxing, I believe. And briefly, great to see two giants of boxing, you and Barry McGuigan there today. As promoters, does that help replace the buzz of fighting for you?
It does a little bit. I don't think it will ever be the same, but I'm sure Barry would agree with me when he walks out, you know, on Carl Frampton's shoulder and gets in that ring and he hears that crowd roar, you know, and it's given a little bit back. You know, Barry's been a massive success, like I have. It'd be really nice, you know. It's nice to give a little bit back. We've had a wonderful life due to boxing, and we want to give it someone else, like he's doing to Carl and I'm doing to Ryan.
Okay, thanks a lot for coming in tonight. Should be a cracking night tomorrow night.
My pleasure.
Thanks, Ricky.